Okay, I believe we are live. Welcome, welcome everybody to Highly Motivated with your host tonight, live on location. It's me, the Oraganji. And we are live on location, Fort Pierce, the Fort Pierce Goldflower location. Incredibly cool. This is like the pregame. So right now we're sitting here, we're doing pregame excitement. Balloons are going up. Excitement is building. The discounts are stacking. It is going to be insanity tomorrow. So tomorrow is grand opening. Grand opening right here, Fort Pierce. Discounts up, up, up. I mean, I can't even tell you the number. It's like upwards of 80% off. No, it can't be. I mean, with stackable discounts, it could be. It could be. And that's what's happening tomorrow. So look, they don't spend the money on DJs or catering or any bullshit. No, they bring their brand partners in. Randy Lanier, he was just here just a little while ago. Race car legend, went to jail for 27 years for transporting cannabis. So he went to federal jail for 27 years. We were just talking like just a moment ago. And he was like, Oren, tomorrow I want to talk about my story a little bit. And I'm like, I want you to talk about your story. I want you to get up there and tell people, he spent 27 years in jail. When he went to jail, his son was like 7 months old. And when he got out, his son was like 27, 28, picking him up from jail. What a crazy, crazy kind of story. But that's Randy Lanier, race car legend. His story is on Netflix. So if you look up Randy Lanier, his story is on Netflix and you got to watch it. It's absolutely incredible. He's also got a book out, but he will be here tomorrow at grand opening. He was just here a moment ago. Him and Mark just left to maybe go have a couple of drinky poos. Who knows? Maybe some talky-talks. But I would bet more on the line of like a little talky-talk here and there. But Randy is an incredibly cool guy, still racing. Gets out of federal prison, and the guy goes right back to racing. Well, of course, that's what he does. The guy's excellent at it, but also great conversationalist. He travels the country um, doing talks for Freedom Grow, an organization that he's part of. So, anyways, he will be here tomorrow. Randy Lanier will be here, shaking hands, shaking babies. Not that's terrible. But oh shit. Oh wait, we shouldn't take that. He doesn't know that I'm live. We will we will just can call you back later. All right. So we are here live once again on location. We are pointing our cameras in a way that you can't see any customers. We are staying HIPAA compliant here in the state of Florida because this is a medical cannabis. So here in Florida, it's medical cannabis. It's not recreational. It's not legalized. It is medical. It's medicinal. So as it is medicinal, we are not showing any customers. So just reminding you, that's what we're doing right now. So we are here hanging out like I do the night before, the night before every grand opening, I am here in the parking lot of every new location. And it's like we do the broadcast live. Just, I don't know. For me, it's like a buildup of the excitement for tomorrow. It's a buildup of the energy for tomorrow. I was so excited to go live tonight that I actually started Instagram a little bit early because again I was just super jazzed to get things started. And for me, it's like the show starts right, and then that evolution of into tomorrow, grand opening starting at 9 o'clock. Doors open at 9. Doors will open at 9 o'clock, and the discounts are going to be going all day long. I will be outside. It's look, rain, sleet, hail, snow. It's a little chilly right now. It's like in the 50s. For Florida, that's cold. For Floridians, 70 degrees is cold. So tomorrow it might be raining. We don't know. Who gives a shit? We're gonna have some tents. I mean, come rain, come sleet, come hail, come whatever. Cold weather, we're gonna be out here and we're gonna be welcoming everybody into the community of Goldflower. The excitement of really good cannabis. And that's what we're going to have. So, and tomorrow, also coinciding with the grand opening of the Fort Pierce location for Goldflower, we will have Freedom Roll. So the Freedom Rolls are being released tomorrow. So what is the Freedom Roll? Let's slow your roll. Let me talk about it. Let me tell you about it. So here we go. The Freedom Roll. So it's a pre-roll with a purpose. The Freedom Roll is a purpose-driven, limited edition pre-roll rooted in justice, resilience, and community impact. It was created in partnership with Freedom Grow, which Randy Lanier is part of, as well as Weed for Warriors. And 100% of sales support individuals still incarcerated for cannabis offenses and also to help veterans access medical cannabis. I hope you heard this because this right here is amazing. What they're doing with the Freedom Roll, I don't think anybody else has done this. Other people have done other programs, but in their other programs, what they have not done is to give 100% of sales, 100% of the sales. That means no money is going back to Goldflower. No money is going, ooh, that's a nice car. Very nice rat rod. See, I love to be out here. You get to see crazy shit. So the Freedom Rolls are coming out tomorrow. And the Freedom Roll is a 1 gram hand roll machined. So tube, it's not a cone because cones, any dust can be put in there. But a tube, it's got to be a little chunky. It's got to be fresh. It's got to be Goldflower. And that's what it is. So the Freedom Roll is being released tomorrow. And 100% of the sales, nothing goes back to Goldflower. 100% of the sales goes to Weed for Warriors, freedomgrow.org, and also to help veterans access medical cannabis. I'm telling you, this is huge. This 100% of sales. That's why I'm so excited. So every single Freedom Roll toward, oh, we're back. Oh, see, it's exciting out here. Friday night, a lot of excitement. So, anyways, incredibly excited. I could barely contain myself. Freedom Roll. So the Freedom Roll, once again, that's Weed for Warriors. That's Freedom Grow. 100% of sales. I know I'm going over it a few times because it's like I still have to believe it. That's amazing for a company to give 100% of sales to support veterans and also to support individuals that are still incarcerated for cannabis offenses. That's enormous. So that's a company putting their money where their mouth is. That's a company putting their front step forward, doing that forward positive momentum and changing the industry, changing people's lives, helping them get out of prison for cannabis offenses. So they're not just a dispensary, but they are social warriors. That's how I feel right now. I'm so proud. Here, I'm going to hold it up right here so you can also see it. Freedom Roll, roll with a purpose. Let me see who they are. So who they are, Freedom Grow works to free individuals incarcerated for cannabis offenses, and Weed for Warriors helps veterans access medical cannabis, advocating for alternative healing and policy reform. And 100% of the sales are going to those organizations. So again, it's Freedom Grow, where Randy Lanier is connected to it, and Weed for Warriors. Look, these guys are now social warriors for justice, for reform, for medical access for our veterans, medical access for everybody, and to get people out of jail, to get people incarcerated for cannabis out of jail. Are you excited? I'm excited. Look, I'm excited for like the both of us. I'm excited for all of us. This is pretty big indeed. And again, we're going live. We are here live broadcasting on location. We're talking about, again, I'm just going to put it up here if you want to see that again. That's the Freedom Roll. That is being released tomorrow, which also coincides with the grand opening. Once again, the grand opening of the Fort Pierce location. I think my excitement was more so because I wanted to talk about this pre-roll, a pre-roll with a purpose, a pre-roll with a mission. It's a mission. Yo, this is cannabis with a mission. This is pre-rolls with a destination that is for the people. And so that gets released tomorrow. That's why, look, I'm like I'm like dancing in my feet for this release tomorrow of the pre-roll. And also the strains that will be available in the pre-roll are going to be absolutely amazing. Super delicious, super amazing. We will have all those available tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow discounts upwards of 60, 70, 80%. Yo, I'm like beside myself. This is a reason to get excited. I love not just cost-effective cannabis, but I love really, really good cost-effective cannabis. The pre-roll deal, I think they've got a deal right now. It's like 10 pre-rolls, $40. That's not even grand opening deal. That is like their regular deal that they're running. $40, 10 1 gram hand roll pre-rolls, a hand roll machine. But it does an amazing job. Mm. I'd show you one right now if I wasn't going to get in trouble. But we got to play it by the book. That's why we're angled the way we are angled, again, so you don't see anybody actually entering inside the building, nor do you see access into the building. Tonight, you're on the road with me, Oraganji, here in Fort Pierce, traveling around Florida, bringing vibe, bringing community, and bringing cannabis together. Ooh, isn't that exciting? I'm incredibly excited. Incredibly excited. Okay, so anyways, in that excitement, in that joy, tonight pre-gaming, they're getting all the last bits and pieces put together for tomorrow's grand opening. Randy Lanier was here, and he'll be here tomorrow. So again, if you want to meet Randy Lanier, the guy is an absolute legend. Randy Lanier, look him up. It's going to blow you away. The guy is an absolute legend. He'll be here tomorrow, and he promotes his brand through us, which is Octane. Octane is some fire ass cannabis. It's some fire ass fuel. That's what it is. It is fuel. It is fire. Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Wow. Well, that's Octane. That's Octane. And also, well, we've had some indicas, we've had some sativas under that strain, but Octane is the brand of Randy Lanier. Much like we also have Rohan Marley, which is, I was wearing the shirt earlier. And so the shirt I was wearing earlier, that's Lion Order. Lion Order is Rohan Marley again. And then we have our Heisman brands, which is Ricky Williams. So Goldflower has combined the industry into this store. They've brought Miami culture, Florida culture. They've brought growers from Maryland and Oregon. They have brought the best strains, the best people, the best combination right here to Florida. They're Goldflower is a very different kind of dispensary. These guys they do it right. Look, when people get tired of your cookie cutter dispensaries in Florida, they complain on the social medias, they complain on Reddit. When will we have a company that gives a shit? Gives a shit not just about its people, but about the community of cannabis. Well, look, with the Freedom Roll, this shows they more than give a shit. 100% of the sales. We're going to be talking to Randy tomorrow. We're going to be doing some video with Randy talking about the Freedom Roll. Talking about the Freedom Roll because I think this is important. You need to hear his story. You need to hear who Freedom Grow is, who Weed for Warriors is, and their mission. And tonight we're talking about it really quickly. We're talking about the Freedom Roll. We're talking about the two organizations that are being supported through 100% sales. So 100% of the sales of the Freedom Roll. So you get in here on grand opening and you buy all the Freedom Rolls. You get in here tomorrow on grand opening, you pick up all the Freedom Rolls because it is going to a good cause. It is going to 2 organizations that are making change in the cannabis space. That's enormous. So right there, that shows to me, that company cares. They give a shit. They care with a big giant hug. A big giant hug to the cannabis community, to the medical cannabis community, to the veterans, to people that are still incarcerated for cannabis injustice. So right here, this is huge. Oh, wait a second, I'm missing some chat. Let me get in there. What do we have over here, everybody? We've got Christopher Sterl coming in. We have Stealth. We have Stealth and Christopher Sterl, one and the same, in different parallel universes. So coming to us from 2 different realities, we got Chris, we got Stealth. Welcome to Highly Motivated, live on location, Fort Pierce, in front of the Goldflower. And I'm just sitting here ranting as to why Goldflower is so amazing. Because they give a shit. And yes, I am live. I know. I've been pre-recording lately. I've been so busy. I've been on the road. I've been doing seminars, meeting with doctors, meeting with patients, because I'm a patient educator. I'm a doctor educator. And I'm a field marketer. So of course, crazy busy. And the next grand opening will be next month on the 28th, Cape Coral. Cape Coral's grand opening will be on the 28th of next month. But tomorrow, it's here, it's Fort Pierce, and everybody's excited. I think all of Fort Pierce is bubbling. I I think people are here looking at the new cool lighting on the building. I think they're looking at the great location that used to be a different place, but now it's the best place. And I think they're getting excited. And again, tomorrow, grand opening, huge discounts. It's going to be enormous. Like what a great celebration. So I'm pumped. And not just grand opening, again, tomorrow, Freedom Roll. Yo! Let me see. So LinkedIn is working, YouTube is working. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that because I can't go check. But, it's good to know that they're working. YouTube has been giving me problems. Instagram had been giving me issues. But we are also live on Instagram under O420X. O420X. So O and then a 0. We're not together, but O420X. Okay. And that's the Insta Cha-Cha handle. Freedom Rolls. Yo! Again, I want you to see this right there. I'm going to show you 100% of sales support cannabis justice and veterans in need. 100%. I don't know another cannabis company that is doing that. I'm serious. I don't know another cannabis company that's giving 100%. I'm going over it more and more. I mean, because I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. People need to hear about this. People need to get excited and come support Goldflower. If you've got a medical card and you're here in the state of Florida, even if you're a snowbird, you're coming in right now too. Snowbirds are all over the place. If you're a snowbird, if you're a resident of Florida and you have a medical cannabis card, you need to get out here to Fort Pierce or to any Goldflower location tomorrow, because tomorrow they roll out in all 12 locations. All 12 locations, they are rolling out the biggest of the big, the Freedom Roll. It gets released tomorrow. Grand opening over here in Fort Pierce. Grand opening here, but it's also the release of the Freedom Roll. And again, every time you buy a pre-roll, 100% of that goes to support veterans and cannabis justice. I mean, wow. Wow, isn't that great? So it's a pre-roll with a purpose. You're smoking it and you're making a difference. By you smoking that joint, by you smoking a Freedom Roll, do you know what you're doing? You are supporting veterans. You are supporting cannabis justice. You are supporting veterans in need and people who need access to education, people who need access to medical cannabis cards, people who need access to really, really good bud. And when I say good bud, the difference here is hand trimming. It makes a big difference. The difference here is living soil. The difference here is people who not only understand the bud, but love it. And everybody from the top all the way down loves the product, but also loves the mission. We love the mission. We love the energy of change. And I'm always talking about, look, making positive, impactful change, making intentional change. These guys are not just selling a product, they are giving one away. Well, in a sense, look, they're taking on all the cost of the freedom roll. They're taking back no profits, nothing at all, not even cost. They're giving it all. And we're donating it all to Weed for Warriors and Freedom Grow. 100% of the sale, 100% of the sale goes to supporting veterans and supporting cannabis justice. So getting people out of jail that are incarcerated for cannabis. I'm going over it and over it because it's like, wow, wow, super jazzed that people care enough to do things like that. So it's not just a product. It's not just a product. Let me see. Are there cannabis bus tour companies? There needs to be South. Cannabis, everything, everywhere, everywhere. Wait, everywhere. Oh my golly, I am live. I am live. I am live tonight, but I feel good. I feel the energy of live. It's getting colder out here. I don't know if you can see my breath yet. This is Florida. Look, 70 is cold, but no, right now I can feel it. I can feel the temperature definitely dropping. And Fort Pierce is under a freeze warning for Sunday night. So Sunday night into Sunday morning, they've been talking about the possibility of snow or icy roads. So heavy winds are coming in, rain, which could obviously freeze on the roadways because it hasn't really been warm enough to warm things up yet. We've been rather chilly for a couple of days. So the stage is set here in Florida for icy roads. The stage is set for inclement weather. Let me see, the best people are already here. Bring them on. Bring them on, absolutely. Let me see, I like the cart so far, but I got this stone fruit cart that sucked. And that's the thing. Not everything is great. And you want to stick with rosin, not resin, rosin, ROSIN. Remember, Chris, if you're going to be vaping anything, you should be vaping rosin. Don't do distillate carts, don't do resin. You want to do something that's going to be absolutely lovely, like we have here at Goldflower. Goldflower has some of the best, if not the best, live rosin carts. Well priced. Like the carts, look, for me, the 510 cart, the screw-on, screw-off carts are my favorite. They always hit the best. You always get nice, good clouds. You get a good, solid hit out of it. I mean, disposables are good if you're on the run. Disposables are great, absolutely. And so let me see. We are under a freeze warning here, going to be below zero. Whoa, that is much colder. That is much colder than we're getting here. I mean, we're under a freeze warning, and I think the lowest it's going to get is the 20s. So it's going to get like 20 degrees. But 20 degrees, ooh, that's a pretty bike. But 20 degrees here in Florida, and the iguanas are going to be falling out of trees. They already did the other day. The other day it got cold. I swear, I'm sitting there on the balcony watching iguanas drop. Boom, boom, boom. There's one frozen to a tree. I'm like, oh, he's okay. Boom. He wasn't okay. I mean, he was okay later. There was a guy on the news with a hair dryer, and he was running around blow drying or hair drying the iguanas so they move again. I mean, I like his mission, but when it gets cold here, iguanas are dropping from trees. Now, luckily, tomorrow's not going to be crazy cold. Are you off and away?
I am off and away. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's going to be amazing. We're excited.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Have a great night. So everybody's getting excited. Everybody's putting together again those last minute touches, and that's what makes it special. What makes it special is that exactly that the whole community's coming out, and everybody who works in the upper echelons of Goldflower they come out. They come out and they work on each one of these locations. They work on the computer systems. They work on the architecture. They do last minute touches themselves. If a bulb needs to be changed, they change it. They're checking inventories. They're double checking running systems, making sure that tomorrow when we have the big crowd come in, we're not going to have any issues. We're not going to have any problems. So look, they're checking things twice and they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's. They're doing awesome over here. Awesome. Let me see. When I was in Tampa, there was a cute little lizard on the lawn chair at the resort where I just lounging around, killing time. And then another lizard with that one. Look, the lizards here are beautiful. They're like blue and green and red. There are some really beautiful lizards. And I think they were morphing colors to the color of the material of the chair, like chameleons. Yeah. We've got lizards and what is the other one called? Like not an eel, like a newt, newts. We got lizards and newts, and we've got like really big lizards, like Komodo dragon looking lizards here in Florida. The further south you go, the crazier the animals you're gonna see. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if live in the broadcast we have like a giant, like lizard just kind of walk past the walkway. So if you're coming out tonight to Goldflower, you still have 30 minutes to come see us this evening. You still have 30 minutes to get out here, but you see that the parking lot has been nonstop. It is packed. People are all over the place. They got the balloon people setting things up, and they're doing an amazing job. Amazing already. I already noticed. I love the balloons, gold and black and white and pearlized and just beautiful. But the place is staying busy. We've got a drive-through right over here. And I love drive-throughs. When it comes to cannabis, some people don't want to get out of their car. Some people, they can't get out of their car. They can't because of age or disabilities or just phobias, whatever it might be. Some people can't get out of a car. So they place an online order and they drive around over here to the drive-through. So there's a drive-through on the other side of this building. Very cool. I mean, very, very, very cool. So that's what we're doing out here. We're pre-gaming. I call this grand opening pregame. Fort Pierce, Florida, right here, the brand new Goldflower location. We're talking about the grand opening tomorrow, but we're also talking about the Freedom Roll being released in all locations. So all 12 locations tomorrow will have the Freedom Roll. And the reason I'm so big on this Freedom Roll right now, I don't know a company that's done this before. 100% of proceeds. So 100%. Every single pre-roll sold, they're giving back 100% of the sales. 100% of the sales to Weed for Warriors and Freedom Grow. Freedom Grow, which Randy Lanier used to head it up, and he's still part of it. He's still like the big guy. He's the figure. He's the man. He'll be here tomorrow. Randy Lanier will be here, signing autographs, talking to people. He's a very cool guy with an amazing story. He spent 27 years in federal prison for transporting a very large amount of cannabis over the state. So federally, he went to jail, 27 years. And since he has come out, he has worked to help veterans and to help incarcerated individuals that have been getting them out of jail that have been incarcerated for cannabis. So he's just continually working to right wrongs, and he's really an incredible part of the cannabis industry. And he's been getting, definitely bigger in the representation of good cannabis because he's part of a brand. He is Octane Cannabis here at Goldflower. I think he's got a brand in some other dispensaries around the country, but here in Florida at Goldflower, he is Octane, and Octane is some fire. I mean, it's some fire fuel, baby. It's some fire fuel. Okay. Once again, we are just kicking it. We are just hanging out right here, Goldflower style. Definitely enjoying the vibe and what's going on. It's getting cooler outside, so we're not going to have a crazy long show today. Let me see. Stealth is saying he saw gators when he was here. You're going to see a lot of gators. Look, there's a creek over there. There's probably a gator hanging out watching me right now. There's probably a gator just kind of looking at me like, "What are you doing? What's going on over there? What's happening?" Um, so tonight, um, we were the micro topics that we're going to talk about. Really, the big deal for me is the grand opening tomorrow. The big deal for me is the freedom roll, the 100% of sales and proceeds that are going back to the veterans, going back to cannabis justice, and just, ooh, that's a nice rat rod. Yo, oh, that is beautiful. See, that's what I want. I want a nice rat rod, a truck, an old 50s, 60s truck that you lower and you kind of leave the rust, you leave the patina, you put some fancy rims on it, get some small tires, um, beef up the engine, take the hood off of it. That's a rat rod. I want like a truck bed, but all really beautifully carved wood. That's been. I mean, if I'm going to do a vehicle, if I'm going to do like an antique vehicle or a fancy vehicle, I'm going to do a rat rod. That's the way to do it. Okay, let me see. I saw like 4 baby gators just hanging out in the water, floating, and some turtles. That's Florida. Florida, you're going to see gators everywhere. Everywhere. Look, the further south you go, the more you see. But, for example, I live north central. So I live north central Florida, and there's gators everywhere. I have a pond on my property, a pretty large pond, and we know about 2 gators. There could be more, there could be babies, but we know about 2. And one is like 7-footer. One is a 7-footer. When I lived in Texas, there was a state park we'd go to all the time, and we'd do a walk around their big lake. They had multiple lakes, but they had one nice, really big, long walk. And on that walk, you would encounter 20, at least 20, maybe 25 alligators. You would encounter quite a few, but they're fed, they're docile, but you don't want to go mess with them. You don't, because they'll bite you. They'll bite you, and you're going to lose like an arm. You're going to lose an arm. By the way, talking about losing an arm, I just want to say hi to Trevor. I just want to say hi to Giraffe. Giraffe and Gavin, both working new jobs. I just want to send out positivity to Giraffe, positivity to Gavin and all your families and all your friends. Just sending it out. Hoping your new jobs are working well, and hoping that everything is rocking and rolling as it should. Okay, I got to tell you some inside information here. You ready? I'm just going to tell you some inside information. So Cape Coral will have a grand opening on the 28th. Cape Coral grand opening on the 28th of next month. And then the next dispensary to open, quite possibly, will be Lady Lake, the Villages. So Goldflower is moving into the Villages. These retired people will never be able to turn back. The retired people in the Villages have been complaining for such a long time that their cannabis is shit. They've been complaining for such a long time that the cannabis in the Villages, in Lakeland, just the bud out there, it's shit. All the companies, they're shit. So the Villages is so excited, like crazy excited, to have Goldflower coming in. The location's almost done. From what I hear, possibly next month, they might be doing a soft open. Next month, they might be doing a soft open. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I just told you that. I just heard it tonight. So I'm telling you as I heard it. I don't know if I should have said it. I don't know if I was allowed to say it, but we said it. We said it, so you can't take it back. It's been done. Really quickly, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We're still going, but I want to thank you all for coming into the show to Highly Motivated on the Road with me, Oraganji, pre-game, grand opening of Goldflower, Fort Pierce. Yes. And the release tomorrow of the Freedom Roll. That's what we're celebrating. It's a lot to celebrate. It's a lot to celebrate, that's for sure. Definitely a lot. Okay. But that's what we're talking about tonight. And, you know, again, a lot of action. The street, very busy. What a great location that they have chosen here. It's beautiful here. It really is. Great access for everybody here in Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Vero Beach. So Vero Beach, I don't think they only have like one dispensary, but Vero Beach is like 20 minutes that way. Port St. Lucie is 20 minutes that way, and Fort Pierce, smack dab in the middle. And this is like dispensary row. Like there's all the dispensaries are like boom, 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 boom. All the dispensaries are right here. So this is like dispensary row. This is like the green mile or the green couple of miles on the way to Port St. Lucie. They are littered all the way down. So it's awesome. But it's even more awesome that Goldflower is here because now the community gets to have affordable, fantastic bud. So that's a big deal. It's not just excellent bud. It's not just excellent bud. It's affordable. And they're always running great deals, great specials. If your first time is coming here, your first 3 times they have like an incredible deal for you. And even if you're not here on your first times and you're still looking for a great special, the other day I picked up 10 pre-rolls. 10 1-gram hand roll pre-rolls, 10 of them for $40. Tell me that's not an amazing deal. Of course it's an amazing deal. Usually the pre-rolls are like $10 each, but I got 10 of them, $40. So what does that make them? $4 each? Does that make it $4 each? Shut up. That's what it does. And then tomorrow, the Freedom Roll, and with the Freedom Roll, 100% of the sales are going back. 100% of the sales go to Freedom Grow, or the Freedom Roll. But 100% of the sales of the Freedom Roll go to Freedom Grow and Weed for Warriors. We'll be talking about this more. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a video with Randy. We'll be talking to Randy about all these different things. And actually, just to remind myself, let me just do something really quickly, because I wanted to talk about aliens tonight. I wanted to talk about disclosure, but we might wait till Sunday. There's too many things going on. Let me see, wait. Is there a thing called gator steak? There is. And it's delicious. It tastes like a seafood chicken. So gator, ooh. See, that's why I like being out here. It's exciting. Okay, so gator kind of tastes like a seafood chicken. That's kind of the the vibe that you get from it. Let me see. They say the gator holds on once on, and you are losing an arm. Yes. Well, so the gators, they do hold on, and then once they grab you, they start to turn around and around, and that way it gets you into this death spiral. So if the gators grab you, they start to spin around, they drag you to the water, and they start to do a violent roll. So they're basically keeping you underwater and suffocating you and biting off your arm. So yeah, if the gator gets you, that's bad news. Bad news. Let me see. I just wanted to remind myself, we need to come up with a line of questions for Randy Lanier, the race car driver. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Freedom Roll, and we'll be talking about Randy's life story, where he went to federal jail for 27 years, where he didn't get to see his kids or his family. They had to visit him there, and all because he was transporting transporting large amounts of cannabis plant, across Florida. And the federales got him, the federal government got him and put him in jail. But he was a famous race car driver. So let's come up with some really great questions. Let's come up with something insightful to also bring it into the group that he works through, freedomgrow.org. Also, Weed for Warriors. And we're going to be talking about the Freedom Roll that Goldflower has released, which 100% of the sales go to the two organizations, Freedom Grow and Weed for Warriors. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I put that in there. Phone. Oh, it had to be a balloon. I hear it pop. You're like, where did that come from? It's pretty safe out here. It's pretty safe. Horde of Culture. Everybody welcome the Horde of Culture, THC, two highly motivated on the road in Fort Pierce the night before the grand opening of Goldflower Cannabis. Let me see what's up, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome. Let me see. Stealth says, yes, alligators and other reptiles are believed to have cannabinoid receptors. Really? Because I thought they were aliens. No, everything on Earth except for birds. No, even birds. Everything except insects. Okay, so pretty much everything except insects have an endocannabinoid system. Tell me this is not wild. Everything except insects or insect species, everything has an endocannabinoid system. Again, except insects. Insects don't have it, but everything else on Earth has an ECS. Hey, how you doing? Everything else has an ECS. So very exciting. But welcome, Horde. It's good to have you here, Cowboy. And by the way, I don't know if you heard this, but a little while ago I mentioned the next location to open up for Goldflower I'm looking around. It's going to be in the Villages. So the next one opening, they've got no Ocala location. The next one opening is the Villages. Cape Coral is open. Cape Coral is number 12. And the grand opening for Cape Coral is the 28th of next month. And the grand opening for Fort Pierce is tomorrow. Love the discounts. Look, I'm with my stackable discounts and other people's stackable discounts tomorrow, people are going to foreseeably see discounts upwards of 70, 75, 80%. Shut up. No way. There's no way. And that's what I get excited about. I mean, DJs are great. Bagels are fantastic. Food, I love it. You know, a dunk booth, whatever. Which we do have some great games inside. But the big deal for me is discount. We all need it. Look, we're in an economy that is so difficult right now. Prices are getting higher on everything. You go to the grocery store and you fill up your cart, and it used to cost $100, and now it costs like 200. Everything is double, if not triple. But that's what's happening around us. So thank God there's a company that's pricing their bud affordably and giving back to community with the Freedom Roll. 100% of sales goes to Freedom Grow and Weed for Warriors. Wow. Again, tomorrow we're going to talk about this more. During the grand opening, we'll be doing some video with Randy Lanier. He'll be here tomorrow as well. We're going to be giving out t-shirts. Look, I'm wearing one right now. Do you see this? See this awesome shirt? Look at that. Look, it's joints. Look, it's a wheel, but with joints. Like pre-rolls. But no, the excitement is building up. It's getting colder. It is getting chilly. And tomorrow morning will be rather chilly, but not as cold as we once thought. Originally, we thought it was going to be much colder. Much colder. But it's only going to be in the 50s, thank God. It'll be in the 50s. It could be raining. We don't know. But that's all right. We're going to be out here with a couple of tents. Rain, shine, sleet, hail. We'll be out here. Let me see. The time, 27 years inside. Okay. Well, and already some questions. Great. So rain, sleet, hail, whatever it is, we're going to be out here. I'll be outside yelling, screaming with my big golden megaphone. If you haven't seen it, don't let it shock you, because it shocks people. My big golden megaphone tends to shock people sometimes. But I'm going to be out here yelling and screaming, talking to people, bringing people inside. To me, that's going to be incredibly exciting. To me, that is going to be like key, because people need to know about this place, and that's what I'm going to help do. I've been out here, throughout the whole week, talking to food service, doctor's offices, patients, smoke shops, you name it. I've been everywhere. So Fort Pierce has seen me, and I've been pumping the Goldflower grand opening, and and that to me is what it's all about: getting community together, getting them together for great prices, and even better, great bud, the best. Look, top three, and in my opinion, they're number one. They are. They're number one with their people. They're number one with their quality. They're number one with their deals. Yo, that's number one in every single book. It's fantastic. Goldflower all the way. So really excited. I got one of their shirts early. See, I'm already sporting the shirt. But I do have like a flannel, not flannel, like what do they call it? Like the winter wear. Winter with anyways, it's like textured for I forgot what it's called. It's like underwear, but it's like full body flannel warming shirt. Whatever it is, it's thermally warming me. And that's how I'm gonna basically dress tomorrow. I'm just gonna stay warm. That's what it's all about. If it's gonna be a little wet, not a problem. I'm definitely ready for that as well. Um, Ready for whatever Mother Nature brings us tomorrow. But regardless, it's going to be a great introduction to the people, a great introduction to the whole area. This cannabis is going to change them. If they've really enjoyed what they've had so far, and I've seen the competition out here, it's not even a competition. When they really meet the people, when they meet the deals, when they, it's like this is their introduction. Even though they've been open for a couple of weeks, the grand opening is always a great handshake to the community. Hoping the mayor comes out. I hope you're listening, Mayor. I hope the mayor comes out. They have been contacted, and of course they did the landscaping out here just the other day. They built some walkways. They put in like some garden. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, anyways, great place. The Freedom Roll is coming out tomorrow. The grand opening of this location is tomorrow. Um, Yo, I mean, wow. What more could we ask for, right? Okay. And we got the horticulture tonight, and we got Chris here tonight. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I feel dehydrated. I've been working since 8 this morning, just nonstop going, just boom, 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 boom. So I am tired, and I didn't sleep well last night. Last night, the people next door were fucking loud. So I didn't sleep well last night. I so I was up, I was down. Uh, you know, what are you gonna do? Seems there's a little excitement behind me, but yeah, no, I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm kind of tired now, and I could tell that I'm moving. Uh, I could tell that I'm moving a little off. Um, and maybe the day is starting to catch up with me a little bit. I doubt it. I go into like overdrive and I'm perfectly fine. But I've got to be up early. I'm going to be back here tomorrow morning at like 7:30 in the morning, helping getting the last minute things ready for the grand opening. See somebody walking around with pieces of plants and shit. Don't even know what the hell's going on out there. So tonight, what I wanted to talk about as well as a micro topic. But again, we were talking about the Freedom Roll, which again, absolutely amazing. We're talking about Goldflower and their people and their product and the grand opening tomorrow, amazing. But the micro topic that I wanted to discuss this evening is disclosure, alien disclosure. What does it have to do with cannabis? We'll get there. I will bring it in. I'm going to bring that into the topic. We'll get there. But tonight is like our alien disclosure, I'm just saying, edition. Just saying. So tonight, the things that I want to talk about are fact. The things that I want to talk about are actually happening. They're actually going on. Um, when I say these things are actually going on, we will begin at the beginning. We will begin at the beginning, but these are things that are actually happening right now. So, how do we bring it together? How is it cannabis and aliens? So, the topic du jour this evening was going to be, did aliens seed cannabis for the human race? Now, most likely, we're going to morph that into a discussion on Sunday. Remember, you can catch the live broadcast Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on all your local social media networks. Um, you can see us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, occasionally the TikToker if they don't kick me off. But we come to you 3 times a week live. So tonight we're coming to you live on location. Tonight we're coming to you live. Tonight we're coming to you live on location in front of the Goldflower here in Fort Pierce. Fort Pierce, that's what's going on. Very exciting. But normally you can catch us live 3 times a week. And we do micro topics. So every single show, we talk micro topics about the world, micro topics about cannabis education, the combination of cannabis, good health, good food, and cannabis, meditation and cannabis, losing weight and cannabis, aging and cannabis, reproductive cannabis. All of it always gets melded together in a combination micro topic. But the other thing we like to talk about AI and aliens. So it's aliens, it's AI, and it's cannabis. These are the things we chit chat about. But the reason I wanted to talk about disclosure, every blue moon I bring it up. I bring it up once in a blue moon because there's chit chat in the world. Chit chat on social media, chit chat in the news, in political circles, in underground conversations that sometimes I am privy to. Sometimes people call me with things and say, "Hey, pay attention to this." So, what's been jumping up onto the radar has been the talk about disclosure. What is disclosure? And is disclosure something that we're going to see, something that we're going to hear, or are they just going to assimilate us into a way of thinking that it doesn't bother us, a way of thinking that we don't even notice it? Kind of like the frog in the boiling pot of water. It starts cold, but they start turning up the heat and turning up the heat. And by the time the water's boiling, the frog doesn't know because he's been in there the whole time, assimilating to those temperatures, assimilating to that situation. So is that what they're going to do with cannabis, with alien disclosure? The reason I jumped on this topic now, and again, we're going to talk about this on Sunday as well, but the reason I jumped onto this topic now, the reason I jumped onto this topic now is the Bank of England. Now, I want you to hear this. The Bank of England has just put out a warning, a disclosure, a fail safe, I don't know. They put out something that is directly related to aliens, something that is directly related to alien disclosure. And they're afraid during alien disclosure that it's going to bring down the value of their money, of the pound, of the euro, of the American dollar. So to me, that feels like something bigger is already going on. To me, that feels like there might be something at a much deeper level, especially if a European bank or the Bank of England, which is of your original banks, right? Well, that's awesome. People from across the street are coming over. It's a party here. Look, this is a busy location. By the way, you still have a couple of minutes to get in, a couple of minutes to be a part of the magic here tonight. And then, of course, grand opening tomorrow. I love how busy they are. I love how busy they are tonight. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Forgot. The place over in Tampa was called Saddlebrook. Well, I know Saddlebrook. You see, yeah, it's great. I type fast. So like chat is great. Less stress, not on camera. I hear that sometimes. Camera can give people a lot of stress. I've gotten over it. I used to be stressed. Like I'd be stressed what I'm talking about. I'd be stressed what my topics are, how I'd continue a conversation the entire time. But look at me, 200 episodes plus later, and it's easy. Easy as pie. Easy. And talk about some pie. I'm hungry. I'm like, talk about pie. I'm hungry now. I haven't eaten. I need to find food. I doubt I'm going to find anything good. Like, I doubt I'm going to find good food right now. Maybe some good tacos. Maybe I could find some nice, barbacoa. Nobody does barbacoa around here. I got to go back to Texas for that. But tonight, I wanted to talk about disclosure and what is happening, what is actually happening. So let's start with, look, a little diatribe, just a quick run through of my diatribe here. Look, have you ever noticed how aliens used to be like a movie night topic, right? And now it's a news segment. So it used to be fringe. It used to be frowned upon when you mentioned aliens. But now it's a topic on the news. See, like it used to be. What if we're not alone? Well, now it's so the Pentagon has acknowledged something, and then we all went back to scrolling. The Pentagon has acknowledged aliens, and nobody noticed. That's wild to me. Because if you really sit with it, like really sit with it, the universe is so big, it almost feels rude to assume it's just us. Trillions of stars and galaxies stacked on galaxies, cosmic neighborhoods we can't even pronounce. And we're like, nah, it's just Earth. We got this. Obviously, there are other civilizations out of our reach or out of our sight. I love how the language has even changed recently. They went from UFOs to UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. So that feels to me less like flying saucer and more like a corporate assimilation. It's not UFO, UAP. Like somewhere there's a clipboard and a badge that says, "Welcome to the solar system." They do have a space force. The government of the United States of America, as well as other countries, have a space force. How am I bringing this back to cannabis? Give me a second. You know they're growing weed in space. It's a superfood. They're growing it in space, but we'll bring it together in a moment. So, and again, it's the crazy alien conspiracy of them seeding the planet with cannabis. So right now, we are normalizing disclosure. So, okay, look back at all the ancient stories, the sky gods, the star visitors, beings coming down in light, cave art with things floating in the sky, old texts talking about chariots of fire. And I'm not saying it was aliens, but I am saying humans have been looking up and wondering the same thing. Are there other people, other existence far, far away for a long time? What if they're not out there? What if they're not out there? Like, what if the aliens are not out there somewhere, but instead just out of phase, like a different frequency, a different layer of the same cosmic neighborhood? Like, we're all on the same radio, just tuned to different stations. And that's how I look at our realities. And if they did land tomorrow, let's be honest, what do we even do first? Do we give them a tour? Do we get them high? I want to get them high. I do. I mean, I know it's a small thing, but I want a smoky toke with the aliens. I want to sit in a puff puff, toke it out circle. Let's smoke it out with the aliens. Let's smoke it out with the aliens. I don't think this is too much to ask. I don't think I'm asking too much in this situation. The aliens are going to show up and be like, look, no, we brought our own shit. We brought something amazing. But if they landed tomorrow, I mean, do we give them a warning label? Do we welcome the Earth? Please avoid, the rednecks. Please avoid the people that shoot first and ask questions later. I mean, how do we assimilate them? Or are they already normalized? Are they already assimilated? And we meet aliens and we're like, yeah, we knew it. Okay, welcome to Earth. But maybe, look, because imagine them watching us. See, we figured out how to split atoms, map galaxies, send machines to Mars, and we still argue over who makes the best sandwich. We still argue, who's got the best sauce. We argue about everything, about countries and borders and lines. But maybe that's the charm. Maybe the universe isn't watching us because we're perfect. Maybe it's watching us because we're interesting to watch. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. The aliens are watching us because it's like a Jerry Springer show. The aliens are watching Earth because we are like Jerry Springer. For them, we are reality TV. I find it all absolutely amazing. By the way, thank you everybody on Instagram for joining. I see we have Lightsy joined and XOXO Renzi. Well, thank you for joining. Welcome, the highly motivated. We're on the road. We're on location. Tonight we're at the Goldflower pre-grand opening. So we're getting ready for tomorrow's big discounts, big day, big community handshake to Fort Pierce, Florida. That's what we're doing. Let me see. ET stands for extra terps. I love it. You're absolutely right. It does. You are absolutely right. ET does stand for extra terps. I believe it. Extra. I used to think it was Cheech and Chong. What was it? Extra testicle. ET was. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Excellent. So we are here. We're talking about disclosure right now. And maybe, I don't know, we're part of something way bigger than our fears, our borders, our timelines, and our comfort zones. Honestly, that thought alone is already kind of alien in the best of ways. We are quite possibly alien. So I asked AI if there's been an uptick in government talk, in political channels, in news channels. So I had it scour all the other AIs. I had it scour the news and politics and underground chit-chat. And I said, is there talk right now about disclosure in the political side, in the government, in news channels? Tell me. So it said, yeah, there is a noticeable uptick in alien UAP discourse and momentum right now, and not just on the fringe forums. There are real news and institutional developments that people are talking about, and that right there is insane. So we're gonna bring up a few things really quickly before the end of the show tonight. I would like to mention that 3I Atlas, the comet that came to us from another galaxy, is self-propelling itself. And its jets have been moving to position itself to go to other parts of our galaxy, almost like a satellite. The thing is acting like a controlled satellite. I find it pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, people. So these are the things, we're just talking micro topics. So right now, let's talk about the push in government and military oversight. So Congress, through provisions in the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, is requiring the Pentagon briefings on UAP interceptions and activity over North America, including historical incidents and current operations. That means lawmakers are not just talking about alien disclosure, they're demanding accountability and information from the Department of Defense. Why are they doing that? Are they doing it because they've heard something, because they know something, because there's something going on? Well, there is 100%. So there's been a lot of public pressure. A spike in mainstream media via films like The Age of Disclosure has moved former military figures, scientists, and insiders into the spotlight, saying that there's more than we've been told. Obviously, there's more than what we've been told, allegedly involving long secret tracking programs and whistleblower testimony. This is going on all over the place. I think the age of information is now. I think the age of disclosure of aliens has been happening for a very long time, and we just haven't noticed. We've been like the frog in the pot of water that's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We don't notice the temperature change. We don't notice the rhetoric. We don't notice the integration of things into our society. We just don't notice. We're too blind by television and social media. We are blinded by the actions of our government or the actions of our president. We are blinded by Venezuela and China and North Korea, and we are blinded by Iran and Uzbekistan. No, wait, no, Russia and the Ukraine. We are blinded by all these other actions and distractions. Actions and distractions are what's blinding us to what's really going on. And that's the point of disclosure, or our talk tonight of disclosure, because I've heard there's a lot going on. So there are financial and global concerns around disclosure. I want to talk about, that's what brought me into this. The Bank of England has put out a global warning. So even global institutions like the Bank of England are warning that a formal declaration of extraterrestrial life, if it happens, could have serious economic ripple effects if public confidence changes suddenly in the banks, in the government, in our designed civilization. The Bank of England is nervous right now, putting out warnings. Why? What did they hear? What do they know? Listen, the Bank of England is the bank that started our civilized banking conglomerate. And if they're nervous, there's a reason. You know, if the Bank of England is nervous, there is a reason. Disclosure is coming whether you want it or not. Recent press conferences and revisits to old events like the Varigna incident are cropping up in the news cycles again, pulling historical UFO, UAP cases back into the official discussion. They're talking about Roswell. They're talking about crafts that were recovered by Nazi Germany, and they made the Die Glocken, which is the Nazi the bell, and how technology was backwards engineered to create possibly a very powerful time machine, a very powerful craft that was beyond our technological advances of the time. But that's what's happening now. There's a lot of distraction. But why? Why? Is the distraction because they're hiding something? Is the distraction because they don't want us to know what's really going on? So, anyways, here on Highly Motivated, it's our micro topic this evening. I mean, there is no single official announcement right now, no government email to the world that says, yes, aliens are here, but there is a growing set of movements that institutionally are happening, culturally, they're happening. I mean, there's obviously a much bigger picture. There isn't a headline saying aliens confirmed today. But what is real is that government scientists, defense officials are starting to talk about unidentified aerial phenomenon. They're talking about it more seriously than ever in official hearings, in defense legislation, through media that features real insiders. Some economists are even warning that full disclosure could shake the markets because it would change the collective belief of our current civilization. So the conversation isn't a shift, it's institutional. And that is a big shift. It's multiple ongoing news threads, multiple political discussions, multiple legislative meetings. There is something happening. And if nothing else that you get from this, pay attention to the world around you. Pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention. That's all I'm saying to you is pay attention to the craziness in the world around us. That's it. From Highly Motivated, from the Oraganji to you. Now, the topic that we did not get into tonight, was my fringe conspiracy theory that aliens seeded this planet with cannabis, seeded this planet with a plant that plugged into a natural system already going on in our body, plugged into the ECS, the endocannabinoid system. And it just melded in already. How is that possible? How is something like the cannabis sativa plant possible that our bodies accept it in such a way? So we will talk about this on Sunday. Sunday's chit-chat will be about my crazy conspiracy theory of aliens seeding this planet. Maybe not just with us, but with plants to help us survive, with the cannabis plant to help us regulate and balance our body, balance our tolerances to heat and cold, our immunities, and to bring our entire system to homeostasis. This Sunday is what we're going to be talking about. This Sunday, we're going to talk about my crazy conspiracy. This Sunday, we're going to do a recap of the grand opening here at Goldflower. This Sunday, we're going to have a great conversation with community. Remember, you can catch us 3 times a week, Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, Highly Motivated with Oraganji. And tonight we came to you live in Fort Pierce, Florida, pre-gaming the grand opening. All right, I got to go get some rest. I got an early day. I got a big early day tomorrow. So I'm going to go get some rest. You get some rest. If you're in Florida, get down here. The Freedom Roll gets released tomorrow. We'll be talking to Randy Lanier about that. We have so much happening. Grand opening, the release of the Freedom Roll, the introduction into the community here. I love it. Big day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll do some pre-taping. We'll show these things on Sunday. Thank you again for joining me on the show. Thank you for bringing your energy, everybody. Horde of Culture, Stealth, Chris, everybody watching. I'd like to just say thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here and being part of this community that is evolving and growing constantly. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.